Alright guys, Gemini back with another video, and thanks for stopping by and checking my channel out and seeing what the hell's going on. What I want to do in this video today is I want to have a discussion about did we get old or did the wrestling just get bad? If it's like me, if you're around my age, if you're around like what, 35, because I'm 35, we saw wrestling go from way up here to way down here. So you kind of ask yourself in your head, is it that we just got old and maybe got sick of watching so many matches through the years and burned ourselves out on pro wrestling? Or maybe it's just pro wrestling has gone downhill. I mean, think about my particular case. I've probably seen, I don't know, what, 15, 20,000 wrestling matches. And after you see 15, 20,000 wrestling matches, it's kind of like, did I burn myself out? Well, I'll ask you guys this question at this time. Did you guys burn yourself out on wrestling? And maybe that's why the wrestling fans are so unhappy today, is because we burned ourselves out. I mean, we've seen so much. We've seen so many matches, and we've seen so much of the same same wrestlers week after week, day after day. You kind of wonder, like, is that why we're unhappy? Because of burnout? Like, really, like, as a wrestling fan, you've been watching as long as I have, and probably as long as you have watching this video, because I know you're hardcore if you're here. You just ask yourself, like, is it the wrestling, or is it just things just got old and your interest changed, and maybe wrestling wasn't as appealing, as interesting to you? I mean, I know, for instance, for me, when I hit like 15, 16 years old, I got my first VCR in my room, and I was recording everything in sight. Every WCW, every WWE, it was WWF at the time. Everything that was possible to be recorded, I was recording on my VCR. Now, fast forward, 20 years later, I don't see myself wanting to record SmackDown, Raw, anything like that at all anymore. I just don't. For one, I don't want to have to spend the time recording it and doing all that. I just pretty much watch it on the DVR and then delete it. But I definitely know, for my particular instance, when I was younger and had a lot more free time on my hands, before family life and before full-time work schedule, when I was younger, I was definitely into wrestling 24/7. But somewhere along the lines, your interests kind of change. You kind of watch it here, you kind of watch it there, and the matches and the winners of the matches aren't really as important to you. And you wonder if some of that's burnout or some of that's the product today. But I really do think that that's why a lot of wrestling fans are unhappy today. Is because we burned ourselves out because we watched so much through the years. So I kind of want to get your guys' take on if you think that's why the fans are unhappy. Did we as the wrestling fans get old and grow out of it? Or did we just get sick of the same day-to-day, week-to-week crap that they produce? A lot of wrestling fans are unhappy. You wouldn't believe how many people message me per day on Facebook and YouTube and say, Jem, I ain't watching Mania. Jem, I ain't watching this show. I ain't watching that show. It's crap. And 9 out of 10 wrestling fans come to me and they say that they're unhappy with the current stuff that WWE is doing. And I'm a lot like that in a lot of ways too. I've done my bitching and complaining about the build for WrestleMania 31 and bitched about this wrestler and that wrestler. And maybe if it was 20 years ago, Ryback and The Miz would be a match that I wouldn't fast forward through on Monday Night Raw. But where I'm at right now, where I feel about WWE right now, is if The Miz and Ryback are wrestling in the ring, I don't care. I just flat don't care. I don't need to watch that match from start to finish. Those two, if it's a wrestler these days and he's boring to me and I don't think the match is very good, I just fast forward through the shit. And at one time that would have been like the immortal sin in my life, to fast forward through wrestling match. Back in the day when I was a kid, 15, 16 years old, I used to watch Monday Night Raw. Every match, every segment, and none of it was on fast forward. and I could remember the commercial breaks. I couldn't wait for Raw to get back from the commercial break so I could see the next match. Nowadays, I'm kind of watching Raw, and I'm kind of waiting for something cool to happen. Like last night, I'm going to be truthful with you guys. When Monday Night Raw was going on, I was waiting for Sting. You know, I really didn't care about the winners and losers about any of the matches. I just was waiting for Sting to come out, and then Sting came out with Orton, and he gave us that iconic moment. So nowadays, as a wrestling fan, I'm kind of waiting for that one iconic moment to possibly happen on each show, or I'm kind of waiting for a legend to come back like The Undertaker or somebody who I remember was really cool or really big when I was a kid. So you just wonder, did we get old? Did we grow out of it? You guys leave your comments and suggestions for the channel or anything you want in the comments below, and thank you for watching. I'm Gemini.